Greetings, Destiny 2 and Shrouded gaming fans, and welcome to This Week at Shrouded. I'm your host, A. Greener. I'm honored to have three incredibly knowledgeable guests joining us today to delve into the exciting world of Destiny 2. First, we have Mr. Good Saint, Captain Gatto, and then we have a new guest replacing Mr. Wreck today, Grim Reaper. I assume that's what you want to go by, or it's just
Oh my
Reaper?
gosh, yeah.
Okay. We'll all be shedding some light on the This Week at Bungie post published on February 9th. Then we'll be taking a deep dive into the new Inside Strand blog post, exploring the new Strand abilities set to be released with the upcoming Lightfall expansion. And last but not least, we will be breaking down the latest blog post about weapon tuning, published on February 8th, and discussing the impact it will have on the game. Discussing the impact it will have on the game. We'll have to leave the abilities and beyond to next week. That was another post that was just dropped the day before yesterday, Wednesday. But get ready for an action-packed episode as we explore the exciting and shrouded world of Destiny 2 and its ever-evolving abilities and content. So let's get started. But first, let's dive into the world of gaming that's not Destiny related. What other virtual adventures have you been on in the last week? What other games have been keeping you entertained and occupied? We'll start off with Mr. Good Saint.
Actually, I've just been playing Destiny. I've been trying to get shit ready before Lightfall, get weapons that are crafted up to where I can get both enhanced perks, finishing out getting some exotics, making sure all characters are there. So now I've just been playing Destiny this week.
Amazing. Gatto, anything new?
No, not really. Same as Good Saints. Farming those pieces of gear that I've been missing from all the seasons that I've been unlucky enough to not have them dropped. Because Bungie's forcing us to make sure that you have everything before you move to the next season.
Fair. Reaper, you got anything?
For me, I've been playing quite a lot of games other than Destiny. Got Overwatch, been making that push to master, and then, since the season end, didn't get to make it. Got Black Ops 3, still doing Easter eggs, hopefully speedrun soon, and maybe upload one later. And then Rainbow Six, because it's going to die soon, since EA or Ubisoft abandoned it. And that's pretty much it.
That's funny. You had mentioned that. I saw a tweet today from Ubisoft, and I guess they did a recent patch on The Division, and I guess that patch has completely locked them out from updating the game.
And I actually saw that on the PC Gamer website, and it's just hilarious the fact that they actually done something like that.
I immediately tweeted about it, and I was like, and everybody calls Bungie a bad developer. At least they can update their mistakes.
I think one of the worst part is CrossSave just finally came out for Rainbow, and their servers are going to die as soon as Ubisoft abandons it. So all that money spent on whatever passes you did, now it's absolutely wasted.
I just think it's funny, really, the Ubisoft's whole concept when it comes to these games of service. I played The Division 2 when it came out. It was actually a pretty good game. I enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun. And then it came out on Game Pass on Xbox, and it was probably on PlayStation Plus at some point because I have it on my PlayStation. But they don't have CrossSave for any of it. So I was like, I'm not going to play the game again. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard of. So I don't know. I was going to get more into The Division, but I don't know. I wanted to play it on my PlayStation because sometimes I just like games like that. I play it a lot when I'm going hardcore, even Destiny 2 on my PC. But when I just want to sit back and relax and do some PvP or Gambit, I usually just pop it on the PlayStation or the Xbox, sit on my couch. Don't really focus on it. Don't even really have the audio turned on, just playing the game. And I wanted to do that for The Division 2 as well. A little bit of grinding here and there, get into maybe some of the new content because they had released an expansion that I guess was pretty good from what I heard. But I never got to play it because no cross-save. I'm like, that sucks. Anyway.
Let me tell you, if you really want to go for the Division experience, just ignore the second game. just go straight to the first one.
Well, I played the first one, and then
first
I
one-
was done with that.
Being someone who bought also all the expansions and played the living hell out of the Division 1, I can tell you, going into the second, it was... Some systems were better, yeah, but just the feel of the theme of the game itself just changes completely. I much preferred the first one. Just overall, I bought the second one because it was like dirt cheap. But if I really want to play Division again, I'll just go back to the first. There's no point in going into the second.
I didn't
Or
play
even
either.
now.
I didn't play enough of the first one to remember if it was any good to me. Anyway, we'll move along from that. So after getting caught up on all of our recent gaming adventures, I guess I haven't talked about mine. I don't know if I should. I'm going to be completely honest. Because I've been playing a certain game that's been a target of some controversy recently.
I already know.
Yeah.
I mean, I've heard it's good. I just don't like Harry Potter, but no, I've heard it's good.
I'm going to talk about
It'd
it.
be fun if you liked it.
I'm going to talk about it really quick, and if anybody does watch this that wants to freak out at us, just know that we're not listening. I'm only about 10 hours in, probably, playing on my PlayStation 5. So, Hogwarts Legacy, if you guys didn't understand, chat. I don't know. I like it a lot. Especially if you have any of that, lore knowledge. So if you watch the movies or read the books, it's really quite interesting. It really feels like you're in the world, and I enjoy. I don't know. I've just really been enjoying it, and I haven't even got to fly yet, which is crazy. So, and I want to do that because it's a big world. I was really surprised because I played like the first 5, 6, 7 hours inside of Hogwarts doing side quests and that type of things. The stuff that I do. If you don't know how I play games, I just like completely do everything before I move on to the next space. And then you can find out you can go to the town that's right beside Hogwarts. And Hogsmeade, yeah. And you're like, oh, very, very cool. But then when you come back, they're like, here, go down to this other place that's south of Hogwarts. And they're like, take a look at the world map. And then it's just like, and then there's like 40 of the little villages and towns all spread out. And I'm like, oh my God, this is an actual open world like game.
So is it kind of like The Witcher 3 in that regard where it's a big open world and everything? Because that's kind of how I've taken it, like in comparison.
I mean, I would. I've been to the town and I've been to one encampment that's south of the castle, and there is in no way, shape, or form does this game feel nearly as close to being as lived in.
Okay.
Gotcha. As The Witcher 3 was. So no, I wouldn't put the comparisons together at all. But I haven't expanded really far beyond that. So maybe next week I'll have more insight onto that. But no, I wouldn't say so. It's just really fun. Sorry, go ahead.
So I was gonna say I was just super disappointed it didn't have a co-op because I feel like this was one of those things that could have definitely like benefited from like a co-op.
After playing the game, I really think they should look or consider putting in a multiplayer dueling system because I think that would be a lot of fun. Because one of the coolest parts of the game so far has really been learning the spells and then dueling with other witches and wizards and dark wizards and like using your counter ability and your shield and your disarming ability, and you have to use them in the right order, and it's really neat. I think they could make a good multiplayer like just dueling system out of that.
Knowing how the PC community is, and knowing that the game will be released on for PC either today. I mean, if you're hearing this as it is, at the moment that Greener posts this on YouTube, the game has already come out on computer. People will find ways to mod that game, and let me tell you, people will find ways to make it multiplayer. If Skyrim had it and it was a single player only game, don't worry, this game will also have it. Don't worry.
Yeah, absolutely. But it would be nice if it was like a fully fleshed out system created by the developers.
Yeah, especially since like I don't know, when I first saw early trailers of it, I felt like it was marketed toward that like, co-op experience, because they kept saying play with your friends and explore, but now I see what they meant, like it's just like the NPCs in the actual world rather than actually play with your friends. It was a little disappointing when I heard it was only single player.
And in the first 30 minutes, you get to Hogwarts and they tell you that Quidditch is canceled for this school year. That triggered me so hard because after it happened, because I had forgotten, but I'm pretty sure they announced like 2 years ago that they weren't adding that into the game. Because it would require a completely new mechanic and obviously, to make it good. And I remember being disappointed then, but I'd totally forgotten about it. And it like brought back flashback memories of being disappointed. I was like, oh, that would be so cool. Maybe they'll add it as DLC. Unlikely.
I was gonna say that maybe all of these like missing things that we were talking about will just be paid DLC later on.
And I'm fine with that as long as they're good. As long as they're good. Anyway, it's been... I just wanted to say I was playing it and that so far I really enjoy it. And then that's it. Okay. So, I'm going to start this part where I said, now that we've gotten caught up on all our recent gaming adventures, let's shift gears and talk about what's happening in this week at Bungie. From exciting updates to community events, there's always something to chat about in the world of Destiny. This week, the blog post covers the latest Strand details, performance issues tied to Latency and Crucible, the Creepy Crawly Festival of the Lost voting, and the latest Prime gaming loot. Also, a closer look at the visual effects integration of Strand and its relationship with Destiny. And, of course, there's other snippets other than that. But to start off right at the top, Bungie had announced a plan to provide aid and support to the people affected by the earthquake that struck southern Turkey and Syria on February 6th. The company has pledged $50,000 each to its partners, so that's Direct Relief and International Rescue Committee, who are already providing aid and support in the region. Direct Relief has committed $1 million in aid of support to search and rescue operations and healthcare organizations, while the IRC is providing immediate cash and basic items to the affected communities. Bungie's always been really good at this, and the Bungie community is being asked to support the humanitarian aid efforts by donating $25 or more at bungie.ie/quake, with all funds going directly to Direct Relief and the IRC. You also get a special emblem, Compassion Concentric, is what it's called. It was created to show support for the relief efforts. So Bungie's always been really good at this kind of stuff, whether it be, supporting the LGBT community or Black Lives Matter, or like actual humanitarian or actual events in the world that have put people in disaster. So this is really nice to see that they're hopping on this train and trying to help out those people, because just worse and worse news keeps coming out of those countries regarding that earthquake. Yesterday I hadn't even looked today, and yesterday they were up to 17,000 deaths and almost between 50 to 100,000 people missing. So that number's only going to rise and rise and rise. So it's good that they're providing some support, and hopefully that emblem will help motivate some gamers to help support as well. So if you got $25, go check out the Bungie support relief. So next, I'm just going to jump right into discussing the recent latency issues in the last season of Destiny 2. For those who don't know, the end result of the issue was players teleporting across the map, standing against walls, or not taking damage for a few seconds, which could lead to players being killed. Bungie's team, ironically, this was interesting information to me, that Bungie's team initially thought the matchmaking changes were the main cause, but after realizing the issue was present even in private matches, they actually ruled that out, and they were looking into new features, and they eventually found that the problem was external. So enter Valve, who has been making constant improvements to the Steam datagram relay, which is called an SDR service that provides Destiny 2 players with safe, high-quality connections. Well, they used to, at least. In this instance, Valve discovered new relays were not configured properly and were severely impacting network quality during peak hours. And I guess these problematic relays have been taken offline for further investigation last Friday at 3 p.m. And it appears to have resolved the immediate issues for Destiny players. But they've also talked about this doesn't obviously solve all latency problems in the game, but it has fixed this particularly pesky issue that has been happening since the start of Season 19. And their own investigations even uncovered a few hidden bugs that should be fixed by Lightfall. This should further improve network quality for players with good network connections. So I haven't played Crucible since Friday. Has anyone here?
Yeah, plan to tonight, so we'll see if that's true.
Okay.
Some
Yeah.
trials.
I don't play PvP. I just don't.
I guess we can circle back on that next week to kind of see if the connection has become better and the latency has become a lot better for. In Crucible in particular, I never really ran into huge issues, and I think it's because I'm in a lower tier of category, skill wise, so I have a bigger pool of people to get closer connections towards. So I haven't really been having any issues, but if Direct is back next week, I'm sure he would have some opinions on this because it's been one of his biggest issues.
Yeah.
I can tell you for sure. Playing in that high bracket ceiling, matching against Asian players, they have the whole teleporting thing going on, hitting shots around walls. It's terrible. Legitimately just getting killed by things shouldn't have killed you. It is a whole fiasco. And as you're only going to be matching those players against them in quick play, so quick play is just not fun. And then trials, when it happens to you, it's okay, whatever. 3v3, you can still clutch it up. But 6v6, not the same.
All right. Well, we'll circle back on that next week and see how things have gone, and hopefully they've helped the solution quite a bit. All right. Okay. Next, for our fashion-forward Guardians, Lightfall is bringing some exciting updates to the appearance customization options in Destiny 2. When the expansion launches, all items that change appearance based on currently equipped subclass will now be compatible with Strand subclass. This includes Solstice armor sets from 2020, 2021, 2022, legendary finishers, the Ghost Fist Bump exotic emote, anti swords and ornaments, no backup plans and ornaments, and other ghost projections. That's cool. Honestly, I didn't think they would go back and change all those Solstice sets.
Right.
But it's kind of
they've done it when Stasis came out, so I wouldn't expect anything otherwise. Other than the first two sets that they were really old. Other than that, all of the other sets so far, when Stasis was introduced, they also updated for Stasis. They made it the blue, a little bit darker blue from Arc, and So TLDR of everything you just said, everything that's based on your class that shines according to the class that you have will also be applied for Strand when it comes out. Bungie did not forget about that.
Okay. Yeah, I was reading through this and I was like, okay, that stuff's pretty cool. I didn't really know that there were many. I don't even know what the Ghost Fist Bump exotic emote is and how it pertains to Strand.
I didn't even know that it made a different thing for your subclass. I never used it, I guess.
But they said it does. So I was like, okay, cool. And I also didn't realize Ghost Projections had any inclination to your subclass. So
Ghost Projections I knew, not in TS though. Oh, the ornaments. That's right.
It's just maybe some of the ornaments. I'm not sure. Anyway, in addition to the cosmetic updates, Lightfall is also making some improvements for Guardians who prioritize function over fashion. The following armor and weapon perks will be compatible with the Strand subclass when applicable. So that's Elementor Capacitor, Osmosis, Explosive Payload, Dragonfly, Cluster Bomb, Chain Reaction, Chromatics Fire, Crystalline Transistor, Mantle of Battle's Harmony, Absorption Cells, the Bombardiers, Parting Gifts, Verity's Brows, the Fourth Magic, Fellwinter's Helms, Warlord's End, and more that may be added post-launch. Now, when I was reading over this, I was like, yeah, obviously. But it's good that they pointed it out, I suppose, in the post. But I was like, yeah, I imagine, like, any current ability that does something, like Osmosis is a perfect example. Was it just not going to do anything with Strand?
I didn't realize that cluster bombs had a. I mean, I guess if it's a Strand rocket launcher, maybe, but
I didn't read too much into it. But some of these might have been like, maybe not necessarily. Some of them could have. They're going to add Strand functionality. Maybe they don't currently have.
They
subclass.
Currently don't have.
Okay.
Yeah, they currently don't have, but they will when Strand comes out. All of them, one way or the other, they do interact depending again on your subclass. As an example, I can vouch for, as you said on your list, the Bombardiers, where depending on your class, when you dodge, you leave behind a little parting gift, a little bomb that does, well, special effects or special things whenever it explodes. If it's arc, it blinds. If it's solar, it just scorches people. If it's void, it suppresses them. If it's stasis, however, it will like slow them / freeze them if they have enough stacks of slow on them. I am like expecting that the parting gift from Bombardiers, what we'll do is either one, summon a Threadling, or it will create a bomb that will suspend people affected by the explosion radius.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too.
I had no idea Bombardiers even did that. Because it showed how I use Bombardiers.
Yeah, I don't use Bombardiers either.
As a hunter main, the Bombardiers are an extremely overlooked exotic.
I think it's just because like
they do about like, okay, in terms of damage compared to everything else, they do about half of a normal grenade damage. About half. I really don't know damage numbers, but I can tell you it's not the same as a grenade. However, the stats that it does to enemies, players, whatever, it's pretty worth, actually. The fact that like arc, it blinds people. You can just dodge around them and they will just stay still. Oh, void, you suppress them. They won't do anything. Champions, they're stunned pretty much. I mean, certain champions, obviously, but in GMs, good luck using that.
See, I was sitting here, you talking about Bombardiers, and I was thinking of like how good they would be in Crucible, and then you're talking about PVE or like application.
I have used them in PvP, and so far I have killed 2 people with the bomb itself because they don't expect the bomb to be a thing, because they like nobody actually uses the exotic. It's funny when it does.
I was thinking more along the lines of the blind and the suppressed, because I fucking hate getting suppressed in Crucible when I'm a hunter because I can't dodge, and I'm just like, so I get so triggered. Like,
yeah, I'm not gonna lie. If I'm in Crucible and I'm playing hunter, I am not using anything other than Stompies. Like,
I suppose, yeah.
A Stompies user. Ooh.
You mean a meta user? Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
no, like if I want to be annoying for the enemy team, I really like want to make them miserable, there's only one piece of exotic that I will use to make your life miserable.
Yeah.
Gemini Jester.
Yeah, it is annoying.
If I use that, good luck having a radar.
Well, I would just say, just have better spatial awareness.
Or that, yeah.
Yeah, Gemini doesn't really affect, I don't know, most people I play with.
Still, it takes out your entire HUD, so good luck. I mean, for a couple seconds. I don't really
Yeah, it's not uber long, but if you get your mobility up, you could have it down. Imagine running in there with three hunters with Gemini on, all hunter mobility. I would literally just sit around the corner and just like dodge.
It
Just
does flashbang you, so that's at the least it can do.
Okay. That that
I
would
did-
be terrible though. That would be annoying. I don't know if it would, give them much more of a huge advantage, but it would definitely be
100%
fucking
does
annoying.
not, but yeah, definitely annoying. I think I just look away from my screen for a couple seconds until all their dodges run out.
All right, so those are going to be interesting to see the new what some of the armor sets are going to look like, some of the ornaments, and then obviously how some of these perks are going to be made compatible with Strand. But I think we'll be able to obviously see a lot more of that once Lightfall comes out. Give us a good indication of how Strand works against enemies and how it works with existing and new armor and weapons. But as the Destiny 2 continues this journey, Lightfall is going to be a great opportunity for Guardians to refresh their transmog options and fine-tune their loadouts with these updated perks and fashion options. With Callus's fashion game on the rise, it's time for Guardians to step up their fashion game and make a statement in the world of Destiny 2.
He do look fashionable.
Doesn't he, though? Let's go. Anyway, that'll be fun. What was that?
I said he's blinged out.
Blinged out. Did you guys see? I saw a photo on Twitter, and I don't know if it was like.
I mean, I tweeted something out, said that it looks like he's ready to drop a hot new album.
No. There was another photo going around Twitter about Callus's height in comparison to the Witness.
He's supposed to be fairly small for even Cabal standards, I think.
I know exactly what you mean about that, Greener. It's on the, if I'm not mistaken, it's either on the collector's edition of Lightfall, or I think it is because on that new collection it shows like concept art of the big bosses that we're going to find next season, which is Zivora Wrath and the Witness itself. And yeah, they do look massive. And one of the pictures, speaking of Zivora Wrath, you can clearly see her like overshadowing an entire city with ships coming out of her, like her cloak and all. And then the other picture that you were mentioning, it was the Witness, like its full height, with Callus being extremely small.
Motherfucker was like the height of a 20-story building.
Exactly.
Like
But
he was so tall.
do keep in mind that those heights that they see on those pictures, they are not actually the correct heights of the characters. They were described as in the height comparison to the manifestation of their power. So the power that Callus have in terms of height compared to the power that the Witness has, so in terms of height as well.
That makes sense.
Okay, so I didn't read any like information on that. I just saw there was an actual shot from Lightfall that had the back of Callus, and he was standing near the Witness or sitting near the Witness or whatever. So, and then somebody put beside that, so they put like a scale photo of it, and then like Callus is like this big, and the Witness is like like this fucking huge. So I didn't read any of that, so that makes more sense. But I definitely didn't suspect the Witness to be that tall. So if it's just a manifestation of the strength of their powers, then that makes a lot more sense. But I was like, holy shit, motherfucker's just going to step on the last city. Like, and it's going to be toast.
We'll kill Megamind.
All right. That's
It'd be cool boss fight if we scale the Witness himself or herself.
Climbing up him like Shadow of the Colossus.
Oh shit, like the last boss.
That would be a dope ass.
That would be
if it
sick.
was like that.
That would be sick for
Gotta
sure.
fucking dodge the hands as he tries to swat us off him.
Yeah. I have a feeling that we definitely won't have a direct engagement with the Witness until the final shape.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is just going to be about fighting Callus and the Shadow Legion or whatever the fuck they're called. Is that right? Is that what it was?
Yep.
Shadow
Yep.
Legion. All right.
I heard some interesting theories about the raid though. What it could possibly be. Like, it's we're gonna be infiltrating the Vex as they try to bring back Nezrak, who didn't betray the witness in that timeline.
I heard some of that stuff too. Yeah.
It seems like someone's been listening on to Bife.
Yeah, like
Oh.
I mean, I heard it from Static, and Static said he heard it from Life. So
Oh, okay.
that'd be a pretty interesting theory considering how
Speaking
powerful
of which,
Nezrak is.
going back to the topic before that you were mentioning, Greener, I'm going to post a picture that you were saying on the SGC staff. So if you do want to then put it over on the screen, there it is. That's the picture that you were talking about.
Okay, I don't have that set up anymore.
Oh well. Anyway,
I can put it over top of somebody's picture, I think. Hold on. Let me grab another browser.
Yeah, he looks, in comparison, fairly small.
yeah.
I just need
But
to
yeah,
open Discord in our browser because if I open it,
But yeah, according to what,
You
what
guys all
it
disappear.
says, that
Good point.
no, what were you saying? Go ahead, Gato.
no, yeah, I was just saying, like, that's it. That's the representation of their power, but in height. Because yeah, the power that Callus has compared to what the Witness has is barely none.
He's puny.
Let's see if I can put this over.
He does have some control over.
Not really, no.
He does have Callus. Technically, according to the lore, Callus does have some sort of powers that are from the darkness.
Gluttony?
because- yeah,
He's
sure.
just gonna eat you?
No, but we know that he has some darkness powers with him because, well, one, as for newcomers into the Destiny scene, you may not know this, but if you've never played Leviathan, during the boss fight of Leviathan, one of the things that Callus would do would be to teleport you into a shadow realm, a void realm of a manifestation of himself, and you had to fight through it. That's something, and according to the lore as well, Callus, when he was exiled from Torabottle, which is the Cabal's homeworld, when he was exiled, he was sent to the edges of the universe. He saw something there, or apparently something communicated with him, which exactly. We now know that it was an entity, but now we know that it was indeed the Witness. It whispered something to him. He came back with these newfound powers, and he
With some
wanted
sick
the
threads.
Legion. Yeah, and he wanted the Legion back for himself. That's why he also came back. And now he fucked off again.
Okay. So we'll be here forever again if we don't move on. Great insight. And yeah. So next part, Prime Gaming Loot is here. If you didn't know, wait, did I skip over something? Well,
You
we're
did.
just
Does this update resonate with you?
yes. Okay. All right. Prime Gaming. We're gonna have to wait a minute. In a Lightfall expansion of Destiny 2, weapon crafting will be integrated into the core economy and resonant elements will be removed from the game. They will be replaced by standard currencies such as Glimmer and Enhancement Cores. The Deep Sight Attunement objective will also be removed. For now, resonant and harmonic alloys will still be used, but they will be overhauled later in the Lightfall year. Ascendant alloys will remain unchanged for now. This information is recent, so apologies for the late warning, Bungie said. I don't particularly care at this point in my life. I've never ran out of resonant elements. I've never had any issues with ascendant alloys. So as long as they don't charge me 100 billion enhancement cores, I guess I really won't care about this either.
Yep, same.
And ever since we were able to dismantle to get
Patterns. Oh my god.
patterns,
Best-
like
best thing in the world.
this deep sight attunement never really bothered me either. So because the only time I'd ever keep it is if I had a good roll to hold on to until I was able to craft. But 9 times out of 10, I would just dismantle it. 9.9 times out of 10, right?
Yep.
So anyway, we'll see how that works. I'm curious to see how we're going to get patterns if they're just getting rid of deep sight attunement. Do you just...
That's a good question to think about that.
Just got to be something. They've got to replace it with something. Hopefully it's not just dismantle the gun. Sometimes you want to keep. Sometimes you want to keep a hold of them. So anyway, we'll see what they replace that with. They're gonna have to replace it with something.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So next. Well, I guess Gatto, did you have any points to make on that, or is it pretty straightforward?
It's pretty straightforward.
Yeah. All right. Cool.
I mean, if I am to add something to it, now that you've mentioned it, since I don't know if it's going to be... No, it doesn't talk about this, but we're later on, if we do mention on the topic, one of the things that they are mentioning is that umbral engrams are going to go away and being replaced by something else called the seasonal engram.
Uh-huh.
And I'm assuming that there's going to be a way to focus that seasonal engram into something that you actually want that contains a shape. You know how currently with the exo that's on the helm, as long as you progress on his rank, it guarantees you a umbral engram with a warmind weapon that has deep sight on it. I'm assuming that we're going to have something like that for next season.
Hopefully we have more, because you only get two for each, like
for each
16 levels.
For each, yeah.
Yeah, they better not. If that's what they're replacing with, it better be every single level gives you one.
Could be. It could.
I'm down for that. Okay. Off to Prime Gaming loot. If you haven't got it yet, the Prime Gaming drop is here. It includes the Sunshot Exotic Hand Cannon, the Red Dwarf Sunshot Weapon Ornament, the Jotun Exotic Sparrow, and even... I just wrote even a Ghost Projection. Does anyone know what Ghost Projection is? I don't have it open. Okay. All right.
Yeah, it looks like it's in the season. That's about it.
All right. Some Ghost Projection.
The Ghost Projection is the thing that goes above the ghost, a little image.
I know what it is, but I don't know which Ghost Projection is coming with.
It's just the
Prime Gaming.
No, it's just the season's icon.
Okay, cool. All right, the season's icon. To claim those awesome goodies, just sign into Prime Gaming, select the cosmetics link, and when you're ready to play Destiny 2, head over to Amanda Holiday. She'll have all your stuff waiting for you. And while you're at it, why not make the most of your Amazon Prime Twitch subscription and check out our channel, twitch.tv/ShroudedGaming. Drop the Prime sub, baby. Let's go. It earns you loyalty points that are useless. No, I'm kidding. You can win stuff. Anyway. All right. Next, off to the Festival of the Lost stuff. Guardians have weighed in on what they want to see for this year's Festival of the Lost. And the next Trials of Osiris map, which is hilarious, by the way. Results show that spiders won the vote for the Festival of the Lost ornaments, with 56% and 72% of hunters and titans voting for spiders, while warlocks voted for beetles with 53% of the votes. So if I'm right, that means we're going to get 2 spider outfits and 1 beetle outfit, right? That's how they said they were going to do it this time?
Yeah.
Okay.
Class.
So hunters and titans are going to look sick, and warlocks are going to look like shit. That's from what that's what I'm getting out of it. The Beatles outfits were horrible except for the Titan one. So if anybody should have won one, it should have been the Titans.
And that's the one I wanted to win. I wanted the Titan Beetle.
I wanted Warlock Beetle.
Okay, well I guess you're in the majority, which blows my mind, but I don't know.
Dude,
maybe I'm
it's
crazy.
Like the spider armor just like I think about future fashion, like you can only use a spider armor with spider armor. The beetle armor has like so much more like ability to fuse with other armor pieces.
Well, I don't think like
hairy
that.
legs.
I just want the The creepy spider legs.
Give me
Dude.
hairy leg armor.
Anyway, some of them were really crazy, but 56% isn't a huge number, but 72% voted.
Titans wanted nothing to do with fucking.
They wanted
beetle
nothing
armor.
to do with that fucking beetle outfit, which was crazy to me, but whatever. Anyway, ironically, Radiant Cliffs won with 44% of the total vote for Trials, and I'm pretty sure Javelin 4 is the Trials map right now. So they fucked that up.
They fucked it up, but gave us a better map anyway, so that's okay.
How does Radiant Cliffs win, and then they just put Javelin 4 instead? But if Javelin 4 is a better map, then why didn't it just win?
Yeah, that is a good question. Maybe it won in the last second that we don't know about.
All right. Oh wait, what? So it will be the map of choice tomorrow. So it's not. Anyway, I get. Why did I write that down? Never mind. We're gonna skip over that. That doesn't make any sense. All right. Below that. Anyway, sorry. I just want to reiterate. I'm happy. I'm getting Spider Hunter. I don't give a shit about that. During Festival of the Lost and like during Guardian Games, Festival of the Lost, Summer Solstice, and what's the other one? Dawning. I only buy the outfit for my main anyway, so I could care less about what Warlocks or Titans are going to be wearing or what they're going to look like. Scratch that. I did buy the Fortnite cosmetics for Warlock because they were sick.
Yes.
But that's like some of the only cosmetics I've ever bought for anything other than my hunter.
I remember messaging you. The silver money you gave, that was the first thing I spent it on.
Well, I feel like I'd been advocating for a long time for Destiny. Like they have so many different armor pieces and all that, but it's all like a very similar style. That I find very drab. I'm not a huge fan of Destiny's like armor artwork. Never have been. I've made it well known many times. But that Warlock outfit for me was the first time something didn't feel like Destiny. Like it actually felt like Fortnite. And I don't play Fortnite. I don't like Fortnite. But I know Fortnite because my son is obsessed with Fortnite. And he plays it all the time. So I knew the outfit. I knew the stuff. I knew my outfit, too, for Hunter. I knew the Titan outfit. And both of those, the Titan and the Hunter, just felt like Destiny versions of the Fortnite skin. Whereas the Warlock outfit actually felt like a Fortnite skin. And I really like that. And I wish that Bungie would put more stuff in the game that took different art styles into effect. Like some of the stuff I love about... I know we're on a little Fortnite tangent, but I love the fact that you can buy like cel-shaded skins in Fortnite. You can buy completely changes the concept of what your character looks like in any given way, shape, or form. It changes the art style. I love that stuff. I think it's incredible, and I think it would be amazing inside of Destiny. And that I personally think that was the closest they've ever got to actually doing that. So I thought it was really neat.
I feel like if they collabed, and this is the only thing I'll say on this, if they collabed with one particular gaming series to make armor for the game, you probably would never take off, and that's if you had the little N7 logo on your armor. You would never, I guarantee you would never remove that.
I probably personally would never remove it, only because I'm obsessed, obviously. But
and as you should be.
If you think about it, in reality, like their armor is probably really close. It's pretty boring.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of gaming companies out there that actually enjoy working in collaborations. Most notables are, well, the big ones, obviously like Valve with all of their franchises. Starbreeze, the makers of Payday 2 as well. They love collaborations as well. And
Epic.
I know, Epic Games with everything.
You gotta know
Rocket League.
Epic. They're obsessed. Yeah, Rocket League too. Everyone has been. It's been crazy.
But speaking about that, I've been seeing like the official Payday 2 Twitter account tagging the Destiny account for a possible collaboration. So who knows?
That'd be
We
cool.
might get some. We might get something out of it. That would be nice.
And collabs are cool. Sorry.
As
go
a, as
ahead.
a as a fa- as a fan of both franchises, I mean, I'd like to see that. I wouldn't mind.
I wouldn't mind seeing that either, but and collabs are cool and all. I would just like to see what they actually made for inside of Destiny take more of a different art style is what I was like pertaining to, like whether or not it's a collab with somebody or, but like if I get one of the Payday clown masks, like I want it to look like it does in Payday. I don't want it to have a Destiny style. Like stop putting that Destiny style on my armor.
I feel like some of it's like we get the one free or not free, I guess. We get the season pass armor, which has to like correlate with the season of that time. And then like for this past year, we had the arc or the subclass of 3.0 matching armor, and then we got that Fortnite armor, and I was like, okay, this is actually like a breakaway from what we've gotten so far. The Assassin's Creed mod, well, that was locked behind silver, so I know a lot of people didn't actually end up getting it, which was kind of a bummer because I liked a lot of the Assassin's Creed armor. And then I feel like if it's next year, if they could just shift away, like whatever's in the Eververse has like a completely unique style, forgetting about whatever is going on in Destiny, just like having its own unique take on armor. That would be much cooler.
I think that would be great. And I kind of forgot about the Assassin's Creed armor. I'm not going to lie. And I kind of did like it because I liked the Hunter, like Cassandra and Misthios armor. I don't think I ended up buying it because I didn't like the helmet. I thought the helmet looked stupid.
Yeah, helmet looked hella dumb.
It looked too much like Destiny.
I like the Etsy armor though for Warlock.
Oh yeah, I'd have to recheck that. I didn't look at any of the other ones because I wasn't particularly interested. But
About the Titan one.
did you? What was it of?
It was the Viking one. Like it had the
So from Valhalla. Okay.
Yeah, you had like the shield, the Titan shield on the back, and it had like the Titan logo and all that kind of stuff. I only bought it for just the chest piece. So you could have like the shield on your back.
Oh, that might be interesting. I might have to relook at it. It's probably still up, isn't it? They don't take that stuff down. Yeah, okay. I might check it out. I've just never checked it out before. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I've always been like a downer on Destiny's. It's not so much their art style, I guess. It's just their reluctance to move away from it, I guess, for fun ornaments. Like, all I want is a fun, full body. Like I'd even do something where it's like, you know how in a lot of games you can get uniforms or outfits where it just changes your whole thing when you turn it on, completely changes you.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Green wants a big animated titty woman.
Well, even I don't want a big animated titty woman, but listen, like if I guarantee, I don't watch a lot of anime. I don't like anime very much at all. But if that was the only one they put in the game was an anime thing that cell shaded you and turned you into an anime character, I would wear it all the time because I am tired of Destiny 2 armor. That's how much I'm tired of it. Like I would wear that. And it completely changes you. It takes all your armor off. Like you don't have to physically have armor on your character.
It's a skin, basically.
Yeah.
It's a character skin, yeah.
Let us wear shorts and a tank top or something. You know what I mean? Like that would be so much fun.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take advantage now that Greener is talking and ranting about armor to go ahead and talk again about something that I talked about during the first episode of this.
All right, make it quick.
podcast.
You're not supposed to talk about the same thing twice on podcasts. Come on, don't you know the rules?
I know, but I want to touch on this story again. Bungie, please stop giving hunters asymmetrical armor. Please.
God.
I'm so sick of having mismatching shoulder pads. I want 2 shoulder pads. I don't want just one.
Asymmetry is cool.
Yeah, okay, yeah, asymmetry is cool, but I don't need like 90% of asymmetry. I like looking the same on both my left and right. Thank you very much. I don't like looking like a hobo.
Just close your left eye. It's fine.
There you go.
I'm just kidding.
You know how hard it is to make like symmetrical armor with the most recent. Let me credit where credit is due. These past 2 seasons, they have made some good symmetrical armor, but My God. Just stop.
Just stop. All right. Okay. We are going to move on from that. We got it. Bungie. Make really cool skins that remove armor from your body and let you wear neat things that are weird and not in the Bungie universe. Or make symmetrical armor. There. We're good. We've got it all out. We're going to hit up some of the known issues, and then we're going to move away, I believe, from the TWAB. So there's 5 of them on here that I wrote down. And I don't know about all of them. Anyway, players who receive a lever penalty in a competitive division may be unable to launch into the playlist once their lever penalty has expired. Get fucked, losers. No, I'm just kidding. This can be resolved by swapping characters and playing another match in the playlist. So, just FYI. Visual effects from the Symmetry Exotic Perk Revolution may continue to display for players once the weapon is stowed, so they know about that. That would be super annoying and triggering. Good thing I don't use Symmetry. The Push the Objective Crucible bounty does not gain progress and momentum control, so everybody, it's a known bug. They're not going to fix it. Don't play momentum control. When you're trying to do push the objective. Anyway. Daily Crucible bounties for capturing zones and control are unable to be completed when Iron Banner is active. Iron Banner is not active anymore, so we don't care. The requirements for the completion of the Week 9 Icy Singularity Seasonal Challenge are incorrectly listed in its description. Players must defeat targets with Void or Stasis effect during Gambit matches in order to progress this challenge. So there you are. If you're playing Solar or Void, or no, sorry, Solar and Arc, and you're wondering why it's not going anywhere, it's because Bungie is dumb, and you need to do it with Void or Stasis. All right, so as the TWAB discussed various changes and updates coming to the game, one topic that has been highly anticipated by the community is the tuning of weapons. Players have been eagerly awaiting for a balance update to bring their favorite weapons back into the meta, and it seems that the weapons and tuning blog post from last week that we didn't go over last week because we didn't have time has delivered, on that a bit. With the focus on fine-tuning weapons to ensure a more diverse and enjoyable sandbox experience, the team at Bungie is working hard to bring the best possible experience to players. So we're going to dive into the specifics of what those changes are and what they mean for the players. So in the weapons preview, the focus is on the changes made to heavy weapons for PvE and the addition of subclass verbs to several exotic weapons in Season 20 of the game. Also, the red reticule, which is a useful visual aid that turns red when it's over an enemy within your weapon's effective range, has been enabled on PC. I never really noticed it on console. So the fact that it's been enabled on PC is cool, I guess, but I never really particularly notice it when I'm hovering over somebody on console. So
I can't say that I've noticed it either.
Okay, so big nerf. Linear fusion rifles. Damage done in linear fusion rifles has been reduced by 15% against champions, mini bosses, and vehicles to allow for other options to compete. Exotic heavy linear fusions, however, are not affected by this nerf. So long live the sweeper, or this. Fuck, I said it wrong. The sleeper and Queensbreaker, right? That's it. Yeah, that's the name. So 15% nerf on that. And then later on, we're going to talk about the nerf device, which is going to kill the current king of the boss DPS, the Taipan.
Yep.
But we've been complaining for what now? How many seasons that linears were the only viable option?
Right.
But now that they're getting nerfed, it's like, no, not my linear fusion. Anyway, it kind of sucks, but it makes sense. It's a sensical nerf, which isn't always what Bungie does. Usually it doesn't make sense sometimes, but this one actually makes sense. We've been doing single target boss damage with linear fusion since at least for 1 year, a minimum. since the beginning of Witch Queen.
I think that's when the Taipan came out with Witch Queen.
Did it come out with Witch
Think so.
Queen? I'm pretty sure
yeah,
it came. I'm
pretty
pretty
sure.
sure it came
Yeah.
out with only 2 seasons ago.
Oh, maybe. Oh.
Because it came out with Kingsfall.
Did it?
Well, I remember doing the seasonal quest to get it, to grind for it,
Okay, maybe.
so
yeah,
we
that's
could
it.
do, so I could do boss damage on
I think
War
maybe
Priest.
it did release with Witch Queen, but it only became craftable.
Maybe that could be it.
within-
It's one of the
within that
two.
whatever
It
season.
either become
Yeah.
craftable during the season before this one. What the fuck was that one called?
Wonder.
Ah, yes, Plunder. Okay, so it either become craftable at the beginning of the season of the Plunder, or it only just came out at the beginning of the season of the Plunder. One of the two. You can look it up if you want. Yeah, because I was using Cataclysm in Sleeper during VOTD, like Pinnacle Farm. Not Taipan.
Yeah, so
Also,
maybe-
just saying, Cataclysmic is so much better than Taipan anyway, so it changes nothing for me.
Yeah, it can. Well, I mean, it's really strong, obviously, with solar, Phantomite, and Radiance. So that makes sense. Yeah, it really makes sense. But Taipan is a good choice for people that,
Just got into the game.
yeah, they don't have to worry about, getting their Font of Might elemental well and that type of stuff. So, but yeah, you're definitely right. With Fontamite and Radiant, Cataclysmic would do some pretty crazy damage, especially in a Warlock well during the last boss of Spire.
Also, those heavy changes in general, like, I think all of them are well deserved. Grenade launchers, still have yet to see how that damage will actually do.
I'm sure it'll be
But-
good.
Yeah, hopefully it'll be good. Hopefully Prospector might see a return in damage. Back
Anarchy.
when, if everybody remembers Riven using Prospector, that was fun.
Mhm.
But yeah, I think it puts every heavy into a good spot. Like linears, although they won't have the best damage, they'll have the best sustained damage because of how good they are in ammo economy and their reserves. Rockets have always been the best burst DPS, but they're terrible for the ammo economy. So if you don't one phase, you're pretty much fucked. And then if you have grenade launchers, it'll be a good bit of like, good ammo economy plus good damage. Hopefully, we'll see yet. And then machine guns, well, I don't know anyone who uses machine guns, so unless you're on div.
Ironically, you'd mentioned that the new they got a new perk this season that actually made them kind of fun and good enough at damage. Now it was like the auto lock on the head damage
Yeah, target
buff.
lock.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
yeah. It was. I mean, obviously they weren't the top of the class, but
Right.
you could do War Priest with 6 machine guns, so that's good enough, right?
I mean, yeah.
It makes you have fun with the game a little bit. So maybe this 10% buff gives them even a little bit more viability.
Grand Overture. We'll see how that does with the additional buff.
Could be, for sure. Anyway, yes, I'll go through the buffs. Machine guns, we just kind of talked about it. The base damage of machine guns increased by 10%, making them more forgiving to use in PvP. Never really thought of PvP in general. But also the buff applies to PvE, and the reserves of the machine guns have been substantially increased, giving them higher uptime. Heavy grenade launchers. The damage done by heavy grenade launchers has been increased by 20% against champions, mini-bosses, bosses, and vehicles, and 40% against miners. The projectile collision has been improved. I don't know, making it easier to land hits, and the blast radius has been increased by 1 meter. So that's better for ad clear itself. Obviously, 40% against miners, bigger blast radius, but 20% against bosses. Could see a big comeback for certain grenade launchers.
Wendigo.
Yeah, that specifically, and the fact that is focusable next season. It's focusable this
Right. No.
next
It's gonna be
season. Yeah.
farmable this
It's farmable at the end of the
Yeah.
season, focusable
Yeah.
all next season. So some people are gonna have some good rolls for that, so that'll be good. Shotguns, the shotgun reticles now change in size proportion to the angle spread. I think that's kind of cool, actually. Making the reticule accurate in most ways at 85-degree field of view. So if you're higher than 85 degrees, it's not as accurate as it would be if you're at 85, but you still see the difference in the reticule changing based on your spread angle. So it should be so in theory it should get bigger as you run, from what I understand. Kinetic weapons. The kinetic damage type boost has been increased significantly and is now based on whether your kinetic weapon uses primary or special ammo. The kinetic slot stasis weapons no longer have 5% damage bonus versus unshielded targets in PvE. What is increased significantly? Like, what's that percentage? Did it say it specifically?
No, you know that Bungie doesn't like giving out numbers.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, then there's just numbers for everything else except for that. But I also wrote this, so I'm not...
No, it says, I'm looking at the thing right now, it says increase the bonus significantly. There's no number.
Okay.
The only number they gave was the stasis against shields.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so I wrote it right. All right. Finally, the Exoto weapons have been given subclass verbs, granting the weapons additional anti-champion capabilities as well as more theming around their damage type. We're going to get a little specific into these. If there's anything that stands out, we'll get to it after the end. So to get more specific, the Queen Breaker's blinding effect was found to be underwhelming, so it has been changed to chain to nearby enemies and now uses the Arc 3.0 blind. The Ruinous Effigy's Transmutation Sphere Slam Attack now has an additional effect suppressing enemies. Leviathan's Breath has been buffed to once again one-hit kill all supers in PvP. Sexy. With increased damage from 396 to 442. And increased damage versus champions by 30%. It's a pretty big buff.
And applies volatile on direct and perfect draw impact as well.
There you go. The 1000 Voices weapon has been improved with each explosion now applying a 10 plus 15. What?
10 plus 5 with Ember.
10 plus
you get the
5,
plus
yeah.
5 with Ember of Ashes.
Sorry, with okay. So 10 plus 5 with Ember of Ashes, Scorch Stacks. The Sunshot has also been improved with its explosion on kill now applying 10 plus 5 Scorch Stacks. The Polaris Lance now applies 40 plus 20. Scorch Stacks instead of the custom burn. The Two-Tailed Fox is now the only weapon that can apply subclass verbs from multiple damage types, with its Solar Rocket now applying 60 plus 30 Scorch, its Void Rocket already applying Suppress. Was there nothing?
Catalyst, this is the Catalyst will complete the trifecta.
Assuming it'll maybe get
Do something with Joel.
The Catalyst will give us the arc? Okay.
Probably
I
Jolt
did-
something. Maybe.
I didn't write arc down, so I was like, Anyway, I'm doing my best with writing this stuff down. I had to do it this afternoon very quickly in between games of Hogwarts. The Prometheus lens now has incandescent perk added to the Catalyst. I mean, that's would be really cool for like at clear, like just like beaming people and then fucking thralls just exploding all over one another. Anyway, the Grand Overture has its blind updated to tie in Arc 3.0. The Mana Court is being used as a field test bed for hipfire weapon reticles, conveying more information with the reticle element added, showing the current stacks of anti-grav repulsor. I would actually prefer that than the shit on the side of the screen. So if it was actually up on the like display hub, that would probably be. I'd be okay with that. Is that ping important in Shrouded admins? Was that one of you?
No, that
It's
was
just
the
the weekly bot.
Oh,
thing.
okay.
Yeah.
Sorry. All right. My bad. I can't click over to it. So, I mean, those all sound good changes. Nothing to me. I really like the Two-Tailed Fox. That seems really cool to have different rockets based on your subclass. Super neat. The Leviathan's Breath being buffed so it can one-shot supers. In Crucible, that's gonna bring it back in a Crucible, I think. Hitting somebody with a super with one shot is pretty easy. So, I don't know. I think that's good. Plus, it does 30% more damage to the champions outside of Crucible. Like, I don't know. Leviathan's Breath, people might actually be using that. I'm not saying it's going to be the best at anything, but it's definitely, viable.
I just like the feel of the weapon, so I hope it's actually semi-decent.
Like, I've never used it. I mean, I'm sure I've had it on and shot it, but I mean,
it feels fun to use, but it just sucks damage-wise.
All right, we got to keep going because I got a lot of stuff still here. Oof. All right, with the arrival Strand, new Strand weapon damage perks. Some older perks have received updates. The Osmosis perk now works with Strand. We talked about this earlier, while the Elemental Capacitor has been altered to provide plus 20 airborne effectiveness when using Strand subclass, with plus 25 for the enhanced perk.
Hey, am I still the only one who sees the airborne effectiveness perk, or in this case, stat ability, and I don't really. I mean,
Care?
why though? Yeah, I don't even care about it. Like,
well, air gameplay was a big issue in Crucible, and by issue I mean it really showed the gap in skill gap. But since they nerfed airborne effectiveness's penalties like last week, it's not nearly as strong as it was. So it's kind of back to, well, it's not back to the original form, but it's not nearly as bad as it is. But the point here is the elemental capacitor, which right now you have Solar Void, Arc, and Stasis stuff for. The Strand one is going to get a plus 25. Boop. Enhanced to airborne effectiveness, so you're going to see you might be seeing some elemental capacitor guns in some Crucible inventories coming up next season, because it'll make it even better, obviously. Yeah, you want those stompy hunters need to have airborne effectiveness turn. Well, actually, what is it, minus 40 for stompies across the board? I think it is.
It's some big number, yeah.
So if you have
ask the meta people there.
If you,
I don't really pay attention. I still ape no matter what the airborne effectiveness is.
all right. The Stompies does have a huge negative.
I think it's like 40 to 50%.
Yeah,
Mhm.
but adding plus 25 with an elemental capacitor, like put that on a gun and put Stompies on, and then your penalty is almost irrelevant. So
Yeah.
Anyway.
I just use Warlock anyway.
okay, there you go. Additionally, rewind rounds previously only available on the Vault of Glass weapon set has been rebuilt to work on non-Vault of Glass weapons. So expect to see that in new weapons, or old weapons, but not only Vault of Glass weapons. Eager Edge has undergone a complex rework. This was like, okay, listen, they unnerfed it. We don't need to get into it, but listen. Then they're nerfing the collision damage next season.
I mean, in all fairness of that, I'm fine with that, just in regards to fucking Cabal Phalanx shields.
That's true.
I love
only
the
thing that I'm
concept of
happy with.
not dying to phalanx shields.
Right.
But the fact
Exactly.
that I can't murder guardians anymore with
I
Eager
feel you
Edge,
there.
I'm going to have to play my Titan and knee them into the walls. That's so annoying. Oh, wait, that won't kill them either. What am I talking about?
Yeah,
Nothing will
it's
kill
not
him
gonna
now,
kill
no.
them either. Yeah.
Okay,
You won't be able
no.
to kill him now.
I've got a brilliant idea. You wait till an enemy shoots fire on the floor near the wall, and then you just Eager Edge someone into it.
Sure, you can try that.
Well, they have 1% health left, and then they'll burn to death.
Or push them into something that'll just insta-kill them.
You can knock them off cliffs, too, now.
there-
but,
there you
I
go,
mean,
yeah.
still, like, isn't that annoying? Best part.
I
Anyway,
think, it's the opposite, but
what? It's so
think
much. It's so much fun to kill people with the Eager Edge. And if
yeah,
I've never done it. I
Like,
can honestly say I've never done it.
I have,
It gets old after a while.
it never gets old.
I've been killed.
Never gets old. The best part is doing it like during the last encounter on a flawless run.
Oh god.
Nice.
That's the best time to do it. Best time to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anyway, all right. So, let's see here. I miss this. Blinding grenades on grenade launchers have been renamed to disorienting grenades to reduce overlap with Arc 3.0 blind effects because they don't do arc damage. So, for people that are getting confused or dumb. All right, here's a big one. Vice Stinger. The highly desirable origin trait, particularly on linear fusion rifles, I mean, it's not that bad on submachine guns either, has received adjustments to make it more in line with other origin traits. Instead of a full reload when the perk activates, you now only get 25% of your magazine. So, unless it activates 4 times on a clip,
Back.
you're basically fucked. But to be fair, it's still gonna be strong. Like if it does, say it does activate twice, you get 1.5 clips, which isn't terrible, but it used to be amazing. It used to be too strong. So what they've done makes sense. It still annoys me.
Right.
Anyway, overall, these changes should make heavy weapons more useful in PvE, while most of them and easier to use in both PvE and Crucible, and provide more options for players in choosing their weapons for a legendary campaign and the day 1 raid. So that's good. All right, so all these updates are aimed for improving player experience and bringing more balance to the game. With these changes in place, do you think players can look forward to an even more exciting and engaging gameplay experience? I guess time will tell, but what do you guys all think? I mean, I guess we kind of all talked about it as we were going down, but so I guess overall, you think these changes are good or bad to each person? Yes.
I think they're good and deserved.
Yep.
All right. That settles it. You heard it here first. Bungie did right. I think. I don't know.
I don't tell.
Yeah. The update. Oh, wait. I read this. Okay. In the next section of this discussion, we're gonna delve into the Inside Strand blog post, which provides an in-depth look at the Strand subclass and various abilities. We're gonna hit this fast and hard. Okay, because we're already over time by 11 minutes. So, the Inside Strand blog post discusses a new elemental power strand that will be introduced in Destiny 2 Lightfall. The power offers players exciting new abilities and ways to traverse and engage in combat. Players will be able to wield the fabric of the universe to defeat enemies. The blog post provides a breakdown of each Guardian class will utilize Strand in their gameplay. The development of Strand was informed by the bombastic and flashy tone of the 1980s action films, with the team continually iterating on the concept to bring it to life. The language used to describe Strand, such as weaves and universal strings of consciousness, was developed through discussions among the team about what would make for exciting gameplay and narrative sense. To use Strand effectively, Bungie wants the players to understand some of the new vocabulary. Creating the object with Strand is referred to as weaving, and defeating an enemy affected by Strand will cause them to unravel. When an enemy is defeated, it will leave behind a tangle. Okay, so get these all in your head, which is a bundle of Strand fibers that can be picked up and thrown for area damage. There are 3 debuffs associated with Strand: Suspend, Unravel, and Sever. Suspending a PvE enemy will lift them off the ground and disable them, while in PvP a suspended player will be lifted but can still move and fire their weapon. I need to know what move means. Like, can they fly? Or can they just spin around in a circle?
I think that's funny. Just dangle there.
Yeah. That's important information. Anyway, unraveling an enemy will cause threads to burst out and attack other nearby targets, and once hit, the target will also become unraveled. So that sounds like a cascading effect. Severing an enemy will reduce their damage output, so weaken, essentially. Cool. The major buff in Strand is Woven Mail, which allows Guardians to become sheathed in a protective mesh of Strand matter and reduce incoming damage. In PvP,
Even more resilience.
even more resilience. But somewhere I read, probably maybe not on this, maybe the other one, all of those are getting nerfed down to
You're saying
maximum.
it's going to be 30% instead of 40%.
Yeah, exactly. So this probably just going to give us our 10%, our 10%
Yeah.
back.
Right.
In PvP, Woven Mail will only reduce damage taken on the body, and head damage and melee damage will continue as normal.
Okay.
So headshots will still do as much damage as they do now.
Good. That's the main concern.
I wrote on here, go to webpage and discuss, because this is where I stopped actually writing down.
Well,
What?
the next thing in the post was talking about.
Okay,
I
yeah.
mean,
Swip. All right. We all know we're excited for being able to fucking Spider-Man around
mhm.
the whole game. There's not much really to talk about it here other than, I'm still like, I need to play Lightfall, because I need to know how in every single encounter, every single mission, every single dungeon, like Strand, like this is why I'm concerned about how much content there is in Lightfall, because they must have spent so much time making sure that this Strand whip doesn't break every single experience in the game.
It's
Because-
gonna break.
I mean, wouldn't it just be like a more simple thing about like movement and physics wise? Because like it says even if there's no like buildings around, let's say.
That's
you
what I
could
mean. It
still-
creates its own grapple point, right?
Yeah. So like honestly, I don't think it would break anything because well, you just look at Eager's Edge. That didn't change anything. All I did was make you go faster. Like same thing with Heat Rises. Like it didn't really break anything. It just made you a lot
Jumping
of, like,
puzzles are
jump
going to be.
fights.
I know, but doesn't it break every jumping puzzle in every raid?
I mean, that's
you can
not
just-
the fault of the ability. That's the fault of the developers not putting solid walls where places people shouldn't be going.
Okay. But I mean, even a dick wall, I can just like go around the dicks, right? And
Yeah.
then a VOTD, I can just like maybe
Yeah,
there's a
that's
maybe there's a
breaking
cooldown on it. Maybe there's a big cooldown on it. They did say it was the grenade ability button,
Add your grenade ability.
so maybe there's like a 1 minute cooldown on every time
And they
you
also
can
reduce
whip.
like, how fast grenades recharge.
Yeah.
Yeah, tier going to be what tier 8 is now.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, maybe that's it. Maybe that's it. We'll see. I guess we'll have to finally get our hands on it and see what it's going to be like. If it's like, because if it's like instant cast, like there's no point to jumping puzzles anymore.
Right.
We're just going to whip around everywhere. Okay, so there is some like explanation here on certain things that each class does. So very quick, I'm gonna read what they've got here, and then there's the super information. So on our warlocks, we're going to go over warlocks first. A rift, it's called Weaver's Call. On rift cast, the warlocks weaves 3 threadling eggs, which hatch into threadlings when they hit a surface. Any perched threadling are converted to additional eggs. So that sounds like another type thing. But that's on rift cast. So rift cast will now cause these things to go out. And do they do
Send these little
damage?
Minions. I mean, one of the things in one of the videos looked like they burrowed into an enemy and did like damage over time. So maybe that's what they do.
Yeah. It also seemed like they stack eventually to make an explosion.
Mhm.
Cool. So we get those with Rift. Awesome. Mind Spun Invocation. The aspect improves several of the Warlock's abilities. Okay, so that's just a new aspect. Cool. Grapple. When you execute a grapple melee, the Warlock weaves 3 threadling eggs from the target. And threadling grenade. You can consume your threadling grenade to generate a full complement of perched threadlings. So these looks like threadlings is like what the warlock is totally focused is what the warlock's going to totally be focused on. And you can shackle grenade is that you can consume your shackle grenade to gain a buff, creating a suspending detonation on every kill. So that was those things that like in the trailer that would suspend in the air.
Yeah.
And you could shoot them and they would explode more, I think.
That's what it looks like, yeah.
Lots of different stuff on there, so there's going to be so much to figure out. The Warlock's telekinetic abilities culminate in their super needle, Needle Storm, a deadly combination of burst damage and area denial. On cast, the Warlock conjures Strand Matter into a fusillade of hardened spikes, launching them forward with their hands. The missiles will stick into enemies and the environment alike before detonating and reweaving themselves into an army of threadlings that will hunt down any survivors. I mean, the way they explain that
It
sounds
sounds cool.
incredible.
Right.
Whether or not it's going to be as cool as it sounds, I have no idea. All right. So the Hunter Threadrunner. I gotta say, out of all of the characters, not because I'm a Hunter mate, but the fact that fucking the Hunters look the coolest right now. out of
I
everything.
will have to agree.
Whether or not their
Mhm.
abilities are actually good, don't know.
It's
Have
got
no
the most
idea.
style.
But
Definitely has the
I
most
mean,
style.
have you guys watched like the
Flipping
new
little thing around?
the new Mortal Kombat movie? Like
Yeah.
the new one that they
Mhm.
released like a year and a half ago.
Yep.
If you watch like the Lightfall trailers, they literally just like do all the moves that Scorpion does in the fight against Sub-Zero at the end of that movie. They literally, I guarantee, they just modeled this entire like class, or at least the super off of fucking off
Pretty
of
cool.
Scorpion from Mortal Kombat.
I'm sorry, but I would disagree because there's actually a martial art that you can. Actually a martial art that involves
Focus around the chain whip, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my-
With no, it's not a chain whip. It's not a chain whip. It's with a little blade at the end, and it's also a rope, and you can actually people actually send the dart out with the rope, and it's actually very close to what it's shown on the trailers itself.
It's called a threaded spike. And yes, I understand that there is a thing, but what has made it popular in the mainstream is Mortal Kombat. So
So real.
Yeah.
you're allowed to say they're copying it, even if the origin does come from somewhere else. Is my point. Anyway, so there's not a lot of stuff on here. There's just the ensnaring slam that they mentioned for the Hunter, which is, it suspends all nearby, so it's not like a shadow dive, but it suspends everybody near him. Boom. So that's cool. I guess maybe. I don't know. Could suck. And then Whittle Silk. That's an aspect that grants an additional grenade charge. The Hunter's grapple ability creates a persistent grapple tangle when it latches, which fully refunds grenade energy when grappled to. Hunters can use this ability to set up chains of grapple points that their entire team can use,
There you go.
greatly enhancing the ability to move quickly around in combat or traverse the environment. So the Hunters are going to be the king of the jumping puzzle from now on.
As they kind of should be.
Says you.
I mean, they are now.
Yeah, I want to see it come out. If someone can still beat me while skating, say something else.
Oh, I don't know. There's a pretty good shadow dive skate.
Yeah,
It
but
goes
doesn't
pretty
get
fast.
nearly as brutality as warlocks.
I'm just gonna call Bungie and tell them to nerf yours and leave the
Yeah,
shatter
big sad.
shatter skating
Yeah.
alone, and then
That'll work.
we'll make fun of warlocks then.
All
right.
For a very long time.
Before you start into the next one, I just want to point out, and I just now noticed this, that literally the Warlock and the Hunter both have their names are linked to Strand. Broodweaver and Thread Runner. The Titan is just Berserker. What the fuck kind of shit name is that?
Striker.
Didn't even just no. There's no synergy at all. Zero. What the actual fuck?
Well, they're just a big dumb tank that. Okay, we are going to mention the Threadrunner Super, which is called the Silk Strike. When activated, the Hunter uses their grapple to freely move around the world in third-person view, while also throwing their rope dart to strike down enemies. Hunters will be able to use grapple more often during the Super, and then the rope dart features both a light and a heavy attack. This light attack is meant for single opponent and can be used in air or on the ground. Motherfucker. Okay. All right. So the Hunter Super is become a combination of Scorpion and Spider-Man. That's a pretty good super.
Right.
That's basically what it is, right? We get to grapple a bunch. So there's obviously going to be a cooldown of grappling because this is all focused on the ability. Hunters are going to have the ability to allow their teammates to grapple more, and then their super is completely focused on doing damage while swinging around. So that sounds cool. And then the Titan Berserker. So we have Into the Fray and Drenger's Last Wish on here, and then a bunch of this other stuff. Anyway, so destroying Into the Fray is destroying a tangle weaves of woven mail onto the Titan and the nearby allies, in addition to reducing damage taken. So more resilience. This aspect also increases the Titan's melee energy regeneration by wearing woven mail. Okay, cool. Drenger's Last Wish, when the Titan casts the class ability, so shield, barricade, sorry. The Titan will blast forward a powerful ripple in reality, suspending enemies that are caught in the shockwave's path. That sounds pretty cool.
Well, it's just like what that exotic did, except the base ability only does 1, where that exotic makes you do 3. So yeah, if it would look like it did in the trailer, then it does look cool.
Okay. Is that ability the one in the trailer?
Yeah, because
it looked like it shot. It looked like it shot projectiles out in the trailer, and this says shockwave. Like, is this the same thing?
It was on the ground. It looked like it was on the ground in the trailer.
Okay, maybe I'm not remembering it quite right. Maybe that's the same thing.
Cut freeze. Just a better cut freeze.
Yeah, it is. It is a better cut freeze for sure.
That's actually what we talked about last week. Gato said that. He's like, "There's already an exotic that does that," and I was like, "Well, this is an aspect that does it. So you can have more aspects than you can have exotics."
True.
All right. So, and then of course the Titan Berserker's super is Blade Fury. Sees the Titan dual wielding fist blades and roaming the battlefield with ill intent. Everybody's mad. They keep saying that Titans are just punching, but listen. You have You have fist blades. You're slicing.
Melee.
You're slicing people.
It's melee this time. Whoop-de-fucking do. So I'm, I can't even remember the guy's name from Mortal Kombat. The dude with the blades in his arms. I'm him now. Whoop-de-do.
Wait, is Lightfall just Mortal Kombat in Destiny?
Yeah. What was the sorcerer? I forgot his name.
Right. Quan Chi. Oh shit! Yeah, his shit is green.
Yeah. And then Baracus.
Baraka. Yeah, that's who you're talking about.
Baraka. Yeah. The dude with the. Yep.
We're just saying Mortal Kombat and Lightfall. Easy.
Yep,
that's perfect. I never even realized it. Holy shit. Bungie just ripped off a fucking Midway like crazy.
Reusing content. Let's go.
Good lord. Now all we need is a Titan ornament that gives you the.
Oh my god, Sub-Zero.
The teeth. Faces. No, I was thinking the teeth from Baraka. And then like have like rainbow colors in it to indicate he's been eating crayons.
I would totally rock that.
Oh, you'd buy it.
If we don't get a Mortal Kombat collab for Lightfall, I'm gonna be sorely disappointed.
Super disappointed. Come on, Bungie, do it.
Awesome.
You already literally stole all of their content. You might as well go make a deal with them and do some cool ornaments. Okay, so. Last little bit here, and then we're going to head out. So, Thread of Ascent. Finally, it wouldn't be new elemental powers in Destiny 2 without new fragments to explore the customize your strand wielding guardian. Here's a look at a few of the fragments. So, who the fuck? Jesus, somebody keeps DMing or pinging me. All right. Threads.
Maze, ignore him.
What?
Maze, ignore him.
Is he DMing me right?
No, they're pinging you from Warden because they're waiting on me for a raid, but they can fucking wait.
Okay, we'll be done in a second. Yeah, this did go half an hour over. God, too much content leading up to Lightfall. It's so annoying. All right, Thread of Ascent, activating your grenade ability, reloads an equipped weapon and grants increased weapon handling and airborne effectiveness for a short time. Great. Thread of Fury, damaging targets with a tangle, grants melee energy. These are all pretty standard, fragments. Like the next one is finishers generate threadlings, and then Jesus, we're gonna have threadlings everywhere. I hope everyone upgraded their graphics card because they're gonna need it. And then Thread of Warding, picking up an orb of power grants Woven Mail. So basically I want to know how much Woven Mail gives us. How much resilience it gives us. Because, like, if you just got to pick up an orb and it grants it, like, that's really easy.
10%.
If it's 10%, I want it to be at least 15%.
Something low. It can't be anything like super crazy. Otherwise, you're just going to be. I mean, I'm fine with feeling like a tank, but I feel like that would just break too much shit.
I think it'll be 10%. Just put everybody back to where they were before that.
Right.
Okay. We've spent enough time on here. We're just going to close out. I realized I forgot to do the draws for like the weekly winners, so I'm gonna put them in the comments below, along with every other link and bullshit that you guys might want to look at. Does anybody want to plug anything? We do this at the end of the stream, Reaper. By the way, if you want to plug your stream or something important to you,
check out the YouTube GXD_Reaper. No, very cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, I forget which side people are on. Anyway, Good Saint, anything?
Upvote the latest recruitment post, link in the description. And yeah, if you want to, I'm gonna start doing it more. But if you want to follow me on Twitch, it's Mr. Good Saint at Twitch TV. Yeah.
Okay, twitch.tv/Mr. Good Saint. What was your YouTube channel again, Reaper?
GXD_Reaper, or just GXD space Reaper.
Okay, GXD space Reaper.
Like that.
Check him out on YouTube. He does like a lot of low man stuff and speed runs and shit. It's really cool. Check it out. Gato, anything?
All I want is for people to play on the Minecraft server. That's all I want.
Everyone go play Minecraft on our server before Gato cries himself to sleep. Just kidding. Well, go play it if you like Minecraft, but check it out. We've got a cool server that Gato runs. It's down at the bottom of the Discord. I'm going to plug the community stream. Guys, check out the community stream, twitch.tv/Shrouded Gaming. We do it every Tuesday for community and giveaway stuff and have a lot of fun. You should check it out if you're part of Shrouded. If you're not part of Shrouded and you're watching or listening to this stream, we have a huge Destiny community where we do really cool shit all the time. You should really check us out. shroudedgaming.com/Discord. That will get you right into our Discord. Obviously, you can look at more information if you just stay on shroudedgaming.com and check it out first. But you're really going to get a feel for us by checking out our Discord. Like I said, again, shroudedgaming.com/Discord. We'll bring you right there. And people in Shrouded, Crimson Days. Go sign up for the Crimson Days tournament and go check out the event card. Win some cool stuff, some Discord names, some Lightfall, some silvers, some Crimson Days merchandise. Tons of stuff available. Check it out. Do it. Have some fun. I think that's about everything. So this week at Shrouded, we've been discussing the exciting new Strand toolkit coming to Destiny. We've covered the new grappling ability, the different debuffs and buffs, how each Guardian class will interact with Strand in their own unique way. We also touched upon the recent This Week at Bungie article where Bungie provided updates on weapon tuning and other gameplay changes. To wrap up, we want to thank our live listeners, our patrons. By the way, if you want to watch this live, Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern, patreon.com/shroudedgaming. Come support us, and then you can watch it live. For everyone else that's listening to this on YouTube, it goes live Saturday, 11 p.m. Eastern. I guess you already know because you're watching it. But for next week, and then we're also on all your local podcasting things. We're now on Spotify, iHeartRadio, some other shit. I don't know. There's a whole list of them. If you listen to it, then we're probably on there. Oh, yeah, the iPhone one, all that stuff.
Shazam!
But that's all random. Like, we upload it, and then each one takes a different amount of time. So I can't be like, at 12 o'clock exactly, because it just doesn't work that way. yeah, anyway, just want to thank the live listeners and as well as everybody who watches after. If you're tuning in and watching the VOD later, that's amazing. Thank you. It's been great having this conversation with you. Hope you've learned something new about the Strand Toolkit and the exciting changes coming to Destiny. Thank you for joining us this week on This Week at Shrouded. Peace out.
Bye.
Bye.
I'm waving bye.